Krishna. If I may take you back to the drama, what did Krishna tell Arjuna to do? Fight, fight, fight. What should our slogan be today? Books, books, books. Can we all say it together? Books, books, books. One more time. I can't hear you. I can't hear that side. One more time. Just making sure everyone is awake. Hare Krishna, I'm Dwarakavasini from Nairobi, and I take the privilege to take you to the eastern part of Africa, which is Kenya. This is a very nice title, Kenya Takes Off. Now, in order for Kenya to run like this, it needs someone to chase, and that South Africa has been chasing us so much. The prime benediction for this age, as Prabhupada would say, he's saying that be assured that there is no more direct way to preach than to distribute Krishna conscious books. Anyone who gets the book is benefited. You give a book, you're benefited. The person who gets is benefited. If he doesn't read, gives it to another person, he's benefited. And the list is endless. It's such a wonderful service. Who doesn't want to do it? Raise your hand. Who doesn't want to do it? Okay, these are my main 3 essential tips that I'd like to share with you today. The first one is good sadhana. The second is think big, aim high. And the third one is mercy, blessings, and prayers. We all need prayers. Okay, so we go to the first tip, which is sadhana. Prabhupada says that our first business in this book distribution is this book distribution. There is no need of any other business. Now, I don't know if you're going to shut down your businesses and just take a book distribution. And if our men keep spiritually strong, I may add men and women, then the whole world will become Krishna conscious. Wouldn't that be so nice if everyone was just Krishna conscious, devotees everywhere? Our Vaisheshika Prabhu, the best book distributor in the world, he says the basis of book distribution is hearing and chanting, and there's no substitute for that. You have to hear, you have to chant if you want to be a good book distributor. And if you don't do that, he says this, Maya will crush you. That's like the 4th line down there. Maya will crush you, and he repeats it twice. Easily crush you. So you need your sadhana really strong. Now this is a very interesting photos, and just to tell you about think big, aim high. And as you can see, the Mataji's here were thinking really big. And they aimed for the 2014 marathon. The target was 30,000 books. You know how many they were on the street for the whole month? For the first 3 weeks, there were only 4 Matajis. Only 4. And that was their target, was 30,000 books. Prabhupada says that you have to think big. If we go back to Prabhupada's life when he was a child and he wanted a Ratha Yatra, did he settle for a toy chariot? Does anyone know? He went for a big chariot and he did a big festival. So we have to think big. Who are we dealing with? We're dealing with the unlimited Krishna. We're dealing with the unlimited qualities in these books. Why should our efforts be limited? We should also give everything we have for Krishna consciousness, for distributing these books. Are we ready to do that? Do we all take a vow today, after or within this conference, and say, I'm going to put in 100% of effort in book distribution? Not to make Prabhupada happy, not to make our spiritual master happy, but for our own selves. Just to maintain ourselves in Krishna consciousness, we need to do this. Okay, this is some photos of the street. Now, interestingly, In the morning today, there's a lot of talk on how we should go out to the universities, how it's good to distribute books to the students because these are the ones who are going to read the books the most. This particular street here where it's written Nakumat, as you can see, it's just outside a supermarket. And on both sides of the street are two universities. And these are Christian universities. There's St. Paul's on one side and there is Nazarene University on the other side. And we're in the middle trying to get both. Okay, I'll give you a little glimpse on our Matajis, the ones who were carrying these boxes. Because their target was so high, 30,000 books, that means you have to do at least 1,000 a day, at least. Yeah, and they don't do books on Sundays, they take a break, so because they have other services at the temple. So in order to do 1,000 books a day, how many boxes would that be? Okay, we take an example, 300 Bhagavad Gitas, those are 15 boxes. Each box is like 15 to 20 kilos heavy, yeah? So those are Bhagavad Gitas only. Then you take SSRs and Journey of Self-Discovery and the small box, about 20 to 25 boxes are loaded in a van. You go on the street, now this is the street. There's no parking. There's nobody keeping a slot for you that come park your car here. So you have to double park or you have to wait for the traffic light to go red. When the traffic light goes red, you only have 60 seconds to get all the boxes out. Okay, and these are girls. Where are they? These are just girls, right? We're having Women's Empowerment Day tomorrow. They don't even come out, they just jump out of the van. Remove the boxes in 60 seconds and let the car go, okay? That's not the end, that's just the start. Now you have to carry these boxes to the point of distribution. That depends on where the car stopped. It could be at the end of the street, it could be very near your book distribution point, it could be anywhere on the street. So now you're carrying these heavy boxes with you to your point of distribution. And by the time you're done with the 25 boxes, you are completely out of breath. And this is not one day, it's every day, okay? At least for the marathon period. After that, now you start distributing. How many of us want to do this? It's a privilege to carry Prabhupada's books, isn't it? Then you get so many books out there on the table and you start distributing. This was our marathon day-to-day distribution. You can see these happy faces, these children from the school. We had a book fair in Nairobi. And what caught me so much was, unlike the adults, these children were so much into, spiritual books. They were like, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And they would go for the books that usually the adults don't read or don't go for. See, the adults go for academic books like Coming Back, Laws of Nature. But children went for Krishna books, and we distributed more than 200 Krishna books that day. Our targets. Now, as I said, our target aim high. Oops. So during the marathon time, our target for the temple was 75,000 books. We got 60,000 distributed in total. The benefit is when you aim high, you're going to put not 100, but 101% because of that high target. And if you don't do that, what happens is if your target is low, what we call a practical target, yeah? What happens is, if you reach your target, you will slow down naturally, or you will be lazy from the beginning thinking, oh, I'll do this, it's okay. So it's good to have a higher target. At least if you aim 100%, you're going to be assured of 80%. Anyone knows about the sparrow? The little sparrow that defied the ocean? Said, I'll drink you up? Yes? That's what is happening here. What happens to the sparrow? Garuda comes in. So who's our Garuda here? Who comes to help us? Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada's agents. And I'll talk about that. Now, the Vaishnavi Sangh group did their 30,000. Out of the 60,000 books that were distributed, 48,000 books were distributed on the streets. all of them on the streets. And these are to different types of people, from different walks of life. There were students, there were officers, there were all types of people got books. Isn't that amazing how this book distribution can travel miles? Because you're not just talking about Kenyans getting books, you're talking about anybody and everybody. Okay, I was talking about Garuda. You know who our Garuda is for Africa? His Holiness Jai Advaita Swami Maharaj. In the year 2010, he came to Nairobi. He initiated the daily book distribution, and that's why we have a graph today to show. We were not doing books on daily basis. We were only marathon distributors. Now at least we have a daily distribution going on in Nairobi and some parts of Kenya. And because of him, because of his mercy, we have this graph today. We have all those books that you were told were distributed. That's because of Jai Advaita Swami, who came and initiated. He actually came and gave a seminar. He taught us how to do books. This is what happens when we have good sadhana. We work hard, we aim high, and we tell Krishna, I want to do it for you. I really want to do it. I don't know how to do it, but I want to do it for you. Mercy will come. Blessings will be there. And we should always pray. We have to pray to the deities. We have to pray to the Goswamis, Acharyas. Everybody, there's once I went out and I was late, so I told the person who was driving us, our temple driver, I don't know if I'll be able to finish my books today. He said, don't worry, your books will be done by the time I come and pick you up. Actually, it happened. So there's power in prayers. Okay, so those are 3 main points. I wanted to share you a small story, the gentle shower of mercy, but I'll let you be because the bell is ringing. This story is there in imprint, I think marathon issue, so just check it up there. Expanding our frontiers, recently we had Brihad Bhagavad Swami in Kenya. He traveled extensively in East Africa and he went to Kigali, Rwanda. He said if there's any place you want to live in, the best in the world is Kigali. The most beautiful and very clean city. And he's saying the people there are ready for Krishna consciousness. What we have to do is give them books, and we have to translate these books because they're not English speaking country. So we have to start working on translations for Rwanda. And this is another task we're taking up. This is a center in Kenya, Kisumu. It's towards the border of Uganda and Kenya, where they are inviting us to go train the devotees so they can also increase their book distribution. We are also trying to distribute books across the borders. This is within East Africa, that is Uganda, Kampala. And we're also going to increase our book stands where we can't reach out. Unlike all of you, Nairobi doesn't have a big congregation. We're just about 200, 250, out of which during marathon only 50 went out to distribute books. Yeah, so we're very small. So just to compensate the numbers, we have this book stands all over Nairobi. It always happens every presentation. Celebrating 50 years of ISKCON. This is some of the ideas that we have, and we'll be working on them. The favorite that I have is Bhagavad Gita in every house. Just after 2015 marathon, we're going to do this, that make sure everyone in Nairobi gets a Bhagavad Gita. It's a big task. We need your prayers and blessings. Earlier today, you were told that when Vijay Prabhu came to Nairobi, we went out and distributed over 1,000 books. This is how we did it. This is right in the middle of town. This is right in the middle of a street where people pass. There are crowds of people passing. We sat down. We had kirtan full out during the day and prasad distribution. At the same time, we distributed books. And there's something I'd like to tell you. There have been, sometimes some bad things happen, but out of the bad thing you get, it's like a blessing in disguise. I've been arrested so many times by the authorities. Yes, they come and arrest me every now and then. But I didn't give up. And what eventually happened is we've become friends now. So the authorities don't chase after me anymore. They've given up. They're like, oh, she'll always be there, so let her be. And because of that, even without permission, we can do this kind of things. It's really hard to get a permit to sit down like that and, in the middle of the street. It's not, they don't allow. Kenya is divided into 8 provinces, and next year, beginning from next year, we're going to have a group of Sankirtan devotees who are going to go to each and every province and distribute books and do Harinam plus evening classes. I think I'll let you be there. Hare Krishna.